Or switch the audio.
No, my mic is in the wrong one.
There you
Okay,
go.
now does it sound better?
Now it's
Yeah, there you
now we're
are.
cooking with gas.
Okay.
Here we go.
That's why. What the fuck? I
It's
swear to
cooking.
God,
It's cooking with grease, Kevin.
yeah.
Is it?
It's cooking with grease.
There's all different types of cooking with.
In the South, it's cooking with grease. That's the
Okay.
expression.
Well, we're not in the
I'll-
South
I'll-
anymore, except for you guys are actually in the South.
The South is
That
a
is not
state.
true.
The South's a state
Kevin,
of mind, boy.
you're in California. That is the South.
No,
Even
it's
if
not.
you're
That's
in
the
Northern
West.
Cal,
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No.
No.
We
Yeah.
can look up
No.
latitudes and longitudes here, boys.
it is still southern of half of the United States.
Yes, but it's not the South. I mean, Jared,
Yeah.
the South is a specific
I know that.
region.
I'm
All
not
right, come
saying
on.
that. I'm just
Sure,
saying
okay.
you're
We're
in,
further south than
you are in the South, not the South.
All right, we're gonna settle this once and for all. So I am located at 35 north by 119 west latitude and longitude.
Okay, we maybe don't want to put
You're
that out
the
to
furthest south
the
for sure,
entirety
Charlie.
of the.
I don't care. Find
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Fight me. If you come to my home and you successfully beat me in a Highlander duel, you can be the host of the podcast. You can also get my credit card debt and my student loan payments.
You know what? I will abide by that ruling.
I mean whoever goes to your house would have to, get past your very energetic pupper.
Mhm.
And I think anyone nefarious who saw the pupper would instantly have their heart melted and
Yeah.
would just want to be best friends.
So I have taken him for walks around our new neighborhood, and he's like a bigger dog, and he like ran the leash out one night and like ran around the corner, and I heard people like startle and yell, and so I was like, oh God, he's like run around and like run up on somebody. And so I like run to catch up to him, and no, he's just standing in front of someone's fence to their yard, but it's a bunch of guys sitting on sitting on the porch, and they're like, damn dog, we thought that was a wolf. That thing is huge. So
He's a big
that was
happy
fun.
he's a big happy pupper.
Yeah.
He
I don't
is.
know.
He's just a boy. He's outside now.
He's not going to step on your power strip again.
Which is pretty funny. Yeah, we lost you there for a minute.
Yeah, thank God for solid state drives.
Yeah.
Boot computers up real quick, but I'm ready if you guys are ready.
I've been ready my entire life.
I have been ready since I was like maybe 10 or 11, probably, I would say.
I can't wait for your thoughts.
Yeah. Well,
I think you're gonna. Okay.
Kevin, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to. Welcome to the Completely Original Movie Podcast. I am Jared.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Charlie.
And sorry, Kevin, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. I forgot. Your meanness scared the thought right out of my head.
Hooray.
Success.
Yeah. Well, today,
Anyways, yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Charlie. Kick us off.
Yeah, absolutely. So, welcome to the Completely Original Movie Podcast, everybody. This week we will be discussing the Guy Ritchie film RocknRolla. This is my pick, connected to our last movie, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, both by starring Mark Strong and Tom Hardy, and having a scene where sweaty, pale British people play a club sport. Oddly enough. So I picked this movie because I watched it in high school when I was a little baby burgeoning film buff. I saw Pulp Fiction on FX one night. I watched all of the Quentin Tarantino movies, and somebody told me that Guy Ritchie was British Quentin Tarantino. So I watched RocknRolla, and little sophomore high school me was like, yes, this movie is awesome.
This was the first Guy Ritchie that you watched?
Yep. And then I watched Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch.
Which we watched Lock, Stock on our previous podcast.
We did.
Gotcha. And then I watched the Sherlock Holmes movies, and that's kind of the extent of my Guy Ritchie knowledge, honestly. I haven't seen any of his new stuff. I haven't watched The Gentleman, and I haven't watched this movie until watching it for this podcast, maybe since my freshman year of college.
Interesting.
So it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Revisiting an old friend. How do you feel about now, Charlie?
Okay, how do you guys think I feel?
You feel great.
Yeah, I think you enjoyed
You feel
this.
vindicated in 15-year-old Charlie's taste in movies, I bet.
15-year-old Charlie didn't know what the fuck he was thinking. This movie did not hold up for me.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I had not seen this movie. I had not seen this movie. Jared and I have talked about Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. We mentioned The Man from U.N.C.L.E. maybe in every episode we ever did.
At least the first 25, we talked about it pretty much every single one and being like, well, we can't do this because we both liked it and we both have already watched it.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a common theme.
It was one of those movies that were like, we should discuss it, but maybe we shouldn't because we've talked about it too much. So it kind of became a bit of a running gag.
And then
we can
since
finally do it.
Yeah, but since that, it's come out that Armie Hammer is trying to eat an Army.
I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I think that's fine, Jared, because I think it'll lead into a good discussion about separating art from artist, and whether or not that is legitimate. And that's a fun discussion to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll add it to the
I mean, just real brief. Charlie, do you want to go over your 100 words or less plot synopsis?
Let me get my fingers ready.
Oh boy.
Oh no, he didn't write it down.
I did not, but I can definitely do it. I can do it in less than 100 words for sure.
Go for it. Go.
Multiple levels of the British crime scene intersect and interact in this black comedy caper with a stacked cast and a schizophrenic tone.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Feels very accurate.
Yeah. It's that's not much more to say. We want to wrap up the episode?
Kevin literally speechless.
I got nothing left.
I watched this movie and then felt bad that this was my pick because I was like, God, these guys are gonna hate this.
Yeah, Charlie, can I tell you, I don't mean anything bad by this, but when you chose this movie, I was like, huh, okay, that's an interesting pick.
Jared, had you seen this movie before?
I've not seen this movie, but it may surprise you, Charlie, that I am actually quite a big Guy Ritchie fan. I don't. He feels like the epitome of like a popcorn movie director for me. Of like, your comparison to Quentin Tarantino is interesting. I think he's like Quentin Tarantino, but like the PG version, like not in actually what he does, but he's just like, he's a lot scaled back. He's not as complicated. Right. It's like not as much, but he very much has his own style. Like he has his own mannerisms. His editing style is like the very frenetic, like crazy like thing. And then it was interesting for me to watch this movie and see what he's done with some techniques that he's like perfected in other movies. Like specifically, I'm thinking of, there's a chase scene. He loves his chases where it kind of looks like the camera is strapped to somebody, which is called the Snorri cam. And I think he's perfected that later in some of his other movies that he's done, in which he's just done a much better job of that. One of them that I can think of that I really enjoyed, that I wouldn't say is a great movie, but his King Arthur movie, which is Arthur and the Legend of the Sword.
I think that's right. I saw. Yeah. I saw that in theaters with my dad and had forgotten about that until you brought it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So to be clear, I want to be clear. I would not describe him as like a British Quentin Tarantino, but that is how he was pitched to me when I watched this movie, and it's one of the reasons I watched it.
I think like back in 2008, that's probably not like a bad comparison,
I think yeah, he
really.
probably had more potential, I guess, at that point than
Right.
what we've seen him actually make.
Right.
Since.
Well, like
Yeah.
in 2008, his like big movies were Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, and Snatch.
Mm.
Um, and this kind of falls into that genre. So like I could see if those were the three like if you're high school me and those are the three movies of his that you watch, yeah, he's British Quentin Tarantino because you don't know any better. Um, but I don't think that comparison necessarily holds much weight now. And I haven't seen. I've heard that Covenant is pretty good. I've heard good things about The Gentleman, which is like his Netflix series.
Well, it's also a
Actually,
movie first.
yes.
Okay, okay.
I
I was
really
confused by that.
liked The Gentleman, the movie. I've not watched the TV show.
Okay,
I also really like Gentleman the movie, and I've watched about half of the TV show.
okay. So maybe like I should go like watch his newer stuff like Jared was saying, see how he's kind of like evolved his techniques.
It's
But
just it's so
yeah.
much more polished as well. Like
Mhm.
that's what I felt when we watched Lock, Stock as well, is just like he just gets more and more polished.
Right,
And I think like that started with him in Sherlock Holmes, and then
right.
he's just like he's kind of hit the same level, and it's just
Mhm.
not been like as original, I feel,
Right. I do
in a
remember
lot of ways.
the Sherlock Holmes movies were very like I enjoyed those a lot when they came out. Again, I haven't watched those in a hot minute, but I remember them being really good and they're very well received as well. But I think this movie kind of to again thinking of it like how I remembered it, I was like, yeah, this is going to be like a really good showcase of the kind of movie that I like, which is in my head, this was a hour and a half, hour 45, fun, quirky little like crime black comedy. And it's none it tries to be that. It tries
Yeah.
to be a lot of things and it's none of those things successfully in my opinion. So it was
Yeah.
fun for me to go back and like have something like I can now shit on part of my childhood.
I
So,
do think that this movie is a lot messier
mhm.
than the other Guy Ritchie movies that I have seen and enjoyed. I have not seen Snatch, but I have, I watched The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
I enjoyed that
Uh,
movie. I don't think that it
yeah,
was a
I liked
great
it too.
movie, but
I,
I think it
I,
was fun.
yeah, I agree. I thought again, I really just love The Man from Uncle. I think it's like a very, very fun like
Well,
spy action movie.
it's got
And I
Henry
thought
Cavill in it. It can't be
it
that
Hmm.
bad.
does. It does. And that movie was when I was like, it completely changed my perspective on Henry Cavill.
Mhm.
At first I was like, oh, this guy sucks. Like the Superman movie is boring
Right.
and awful and he's like a charisma black hole. And it's like, oh no, he is not a charisma black hole.
Zack
He is
Snyder's just
like
the devil.
Zack Snyder is just the devil. Like this man is amazing.
Mhm.
And so that's like was very fun. So yeah, I mean, I think this movie in particular, Guy Ritchie wrote it and directed it, and
Mhm.
I think it probably needed another couple passes of the old edit
Right.
pen.
I'd agree.
It's just there's just a lot of stuff going on, and it doesn't feel like tight and cohesive.
Right.
And the
It's
elements are
very
just
yeah.
very rough around the edges, and not in a way where it's like enjoyable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's sorry, go ahead, Charlie.
No, go ahead. I don't I
I
have too
was
many notes. Let you
yeah.
guys talk.
So I did not take a lot of notes for this one because it just felt like very simplistic in a way too, of like everything that happened I kind of remember, and it just kind of didn't make sense like how it was all
Mhm.
jumbled. Like one of my thoughts was it just kind of feels like Lock, Stock multiplied times three. Like instead of
Mhm.
having like one group of like criminals in British stuff, he just like has three sort of separate ones that are like intertwining in a way, but he just
Mhm.
doesn't make it very clever like how they
Right.
intertwine. Like again, I think that's where the polish of some of the other ones comes in,
Right.
of like I think of the gentleman, of like he kind of sets up that whole like time loop or like circle back of he
Mhm.
starts with the intro and then he resolves exactly how they got there and what happens after that. And
Right.
this one just felt like a little bit more sloppy. um
Right. And they
and
don't
like dated in a way too, which
It's
is like
very dated.
kind of
It is very
give or
dated.
take that, but it just doesn't
Mhm.
feel like it just doesn't look as good
Oh,
overall.
this movie looks like shit.
Yeah.
If we just want to jump into that, this movie is so our previous movie, I described it as brown and beige, but I
Hmm.
still liked looking at it. This movie is also like desaturated and
Yeah.
brown and gray and like not fun to look at all.
It's
There's a few fun camera things, but not a lot.
I think it's just very British.
It's
Yeah.
too British.
It is very British,
Yeah,
but in
Britain
a
is
way where
very
like
brown and gray.
yeah, Britain is very brown and gray, and it's like that.
Mhm.
What's that accent that they do? That's like
Cockney.
the Cockney accent. It's very. This
Mhm.
movie is very Cockney, I
Hmm.
guess, but
Because I think Guy Ritchie is Cockney, I believe.
that would make sense. He does make a
Right.
lot of like he's very obsessed with like this style of crime and
Mhm.
like this style of British crime where it's like dudes that hang out and they kind of are involved in drugs and they're kind of
Mhm.
involved in like petty larceny and like
Right.
they punch each other a little bit and that's kind of what he seems to enjoy.
Right.
um
The
i'm sure
voice.
like i'm sure
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like interviews where he's talked about growing up around these sorts of like
Mhm.
tracksuit wearing like
So
I think
point,
chavs is the word.
huh?
what is it?
Chavs. I think that's what that
Chabs.
subculture is called. Yeah. Like
Okay.
CHAVS. Hey
Oh,
guys, in the comments in the doodly doo, let us know.
If you
yeah.
know anything about this, let us
Yeah.
know because we don't.
So the first thing that popped up when I Google for Guy Ritchie Cockney accent is that he adopted a Mockney accent, actually, that he was actually raised very privileged, but it's
Mhm.
a fake Cockney accent, which is what defines his style. And
Oh
that just
no.
fits so perfectly.
That explains
Like,
a lot.
I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of these actors are doing like the sort of Cockney that I'm sure that the actual like Cockney native
Mhm.
speakers would be like, what the fuck is this?
It's like when people
Um,
do a Southern accent here in the States.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's just
Everyone has
very
their own southern accent.
yeah, very
Right.
generalized and kind of like yeah, like it's like even like the Fargo accent of like for Kevin and I being
Oh
Minnesota.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Of like that's
yeah.
not really what Minnesotans sound like. Some of them do, but it's not that's not everybody.
Right.
Um
That explains a lot about this movie. Which just like some facts, it was not it wasn't really nominated for anything. Budget at 18 million, it grossed 25. I'm sure it made way more money on DVD sales.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like
This does
this
seem
is a DVD movie.
yeah.
yep. Yeah. It does
Yeah,
definitely did
I
not
can
need to be
imagine
seen
this.
in theaters
Yeah.
and
I
I'm
can
sure it
imagine
did numbers.
yeah, I
Mhm.
imagine this DVD box in the bottom of a Best Buy dumping bin
Right.
100%.
I feel like so Kirksey and I like to go thrifting a lot. I feel like every thrift store we've been in, I have seen like a RocknRolla DVD.
Mhm.
Uh, so we've talked a little bit about how this was like shot and the cinematography. Do you guys have any other like thoughts on that overall?
I
I
did
Um,
feel that real quick, Jared.
yeah.
I'll jump in.
mm,
I did feel that like the first like 10 minutes of the movie was like a lot of like very extreme camera movements and
Mhm.
like very jumpy and snappy editing. And then that kind of like calmed down.
It really drags in the middle.
yeah.
Did you guys feel that same
Yeah,
way?
Yeah.
yeah. It,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think for me it was like it felt like kind of caught in two minds of like trying to do something very stylistic at the beginning of like everybody like talking about what their start was, and then like it felt like Mark Strong was a weird choice of being the voiceover
Mhm.
character. Like he was trying to do oh my god, what's that famous movie of like I always wanted to be a gangster is how it starts?
Goodfellas. Yeah,
Goodfellas. Yeah, it felt like it was trying to do a Goodfellas, but then it kind of went away from that. And I was just
right.
confused as to like why he was the voiceover
Mhm.
character. Like I feel like it should have been Jerry Butler or like
Or Sam Wilkinson
I
or John
yeah, but
Wilkinson,
yeah,
whichever one it is.
yeah, I think it should have been Jared Gerard Butler. But
I could I could see
I
I
Gerard
just
Butler doing it.
the problem though is that like I think that would make sense if the titular rock and rolla was not in the film.
Yeah.
The problem is Gerard Butler has no connection to that character.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think like that's the weakest part of the film for me is that you have this movie called RocknRolla. It starts with like, a very what's fuck, I don't remember movies anymore. But like, it's got like his back, and it like kind of goes in on him, and we got Mark Strong like talking about being a RocknRolla, and then that like completely is gone from the movie.
Even Mark
for, like,
Strong is not the RocknRolla.
Right.
No, yeah. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, I don't understand. And that's like kind of what I was getting at when I said it was really messy, where like, what, like, it almost seems like that element was like tacked on later.
It's like,
then,
this movie is three scripts.
Yeah.
This movie is three scripts for sure. And I totally agree with you. Like, to me,
but the thing is, I think so. You're saying like three scripts. You have like Gerard Butler and Idris Elba and their whole thing, and then you have Mark Strong and what's his face, Tom Wilkinson, their whole thing, and then you also have the Toby Kebbell, Johnny Quid character.
Yes.
So the thing is that I think like the Mark Strong Tom Wilkinson duo have a interesting dynamic with Gerard Butler and Idris Elba, in that like they're trying to do something, and then every time they try to do it, like Gerard Butler and Idris Elba like fuck it up, but they don't even know that they're doing it.
Yeah, because they're working at cross purposes.
Yeah,
and just because Tandy Newton's character is like pulling the strings.
Right, and that is a good conceit.
Yeah,
like that part of the movie.
I agree.
When I say this movie is three scripts, the three scripts are the junkie stuff, the junkie RocknRolla stuff, the sort of petty larceny, Idris Elba and Gerard Butler like fucking up Tom Wilkinson's plans, and then there's the bigger like real estate caper sort of stuff
with the Russian oligarch
and
guy.
Thandie Newton and all of that. And like this movie can't really decide what scale it wants to be on. So it's trying to be like the junkie stuff is like this really small scale, like that is a like an art movie right there, of like this dude steals a painting from his dad and it's a meditation on what drugs will do to success. And then there's like sort of like a medium-sized thing where like you've got Gerard Butler and his gang, and they're like they're not like petty criminals. Like they're established, they know what they're doing, but they're still pretty small time. Like they're small fish in this pond. And then you've got like Tom Wilkinson, who would be the big fish for Gerard Butler, but is the small fish for the Russian. And that's like its own, that's a whole other movie that you can do about like the levels of power and crime. And it's trying to do all three movies at once. And it can't decide if it's a black comedy, if it's slapstick, if it's super serious. So there's weird tone shifts, like especially like the club scene is like really dark and like surprisingly so. Like there's nothing else in the movie that's as bleak as Toby Kebbell like taking a pencil and stabbing a dude to death before beating him with a trash can lid.
So I had a question about that. He doesn't ever get any consequences from that, does he?
No, he just walks off.
Not at all. He just walks off.
And then is that guy
And they had
dead?
it on camera. They had him on camera doing that.
The whole time that was happening, so as he's doing that, is Jeremy Piven and Ludacris are talking about how they need to find him. Well, he's on the monitor stabbing the shit out of this guy.
Exactly.
And then the whole time I'm like, they're just gonna turn around to the TV, right? And like,
and when they do, he's
like,
walking
shit.
away.
But they never do. Yeah, it's like, why have that in there then at all? It does not make any sense.
No, see, I think this movie would be a lot better if it wasn't called RocknRolla and Toby Kebbell's like whole deal, everything associated with him was just gone.
Yeah.
Like, agreed.
Because it's also, so at the end of the movie too, sorry to jump all the way ahead, but again with the RocknRolla title, I hate this title so much. It's so dumb and just, it's bad.
It's not even a real piece of slang.
Yeah.
It's something that Guy Ritchie made up, which makes it kind of worse.
Yeah. Even
the very
so
first note
worse.
the very first note I took is that's the name of this film. and then I have a RocknRoll account and they say it 5 times, and maybe I missed a couple, but at least 5 they say
Yeah.
it. And yeah, for
It just
something that's not a real like slang term,
yeah.
like he's really pounding this like rock and
Right.
rolla term.
And
Yeah.
He's
they
trying to
only
establish it as something, and it just doesn't work at all.
and the only people who say it, so like correct me if I'm wrong, Kev, because you actually took notes on this, but Toby Kebbell talks about a rock and rolla, Mark Strong and Tom Wilkinson talk about it, and they're the only 3 characters, right?
Yeah,
I'm
So
yeah,
like
pretty sure, yeah.
yeah,
the managers,
yeah,
Ludacris and Jeremy Piven, who Ludacris is the best part of this movie. Um,
Ludacris is great, yeah.
has the
yeah.
best scene in this movie. They don't talk about it, and you would think
No.
that they would. It would be one thing if it was brought up in every little storyline of like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
Gerard Butler like looked at Thandie Newton one time and was like, "Oh, you want to be a rock and roller, do you?"
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
Or
but
even like
nobody, yeah,
if like his show had been like a through line for some of this in some
right,
right,
way,
yeah,
but it just feels so completely distinct. Exactly what
Mhm.
you're saying, Charlie, of like 3 different movies of just
Mhm.
like they like it he went to try to blend these together, but his blender was broken. And so he forgot really to intermingle them more than just
Mhm.
like, some of the sauce is leaking onto something else. And like
Right,
that connection is like Tandy Newton and like that it
right,
pretty much that's it. Like everything else just feels super coincidental.
and
yeah,
And
yeah.
then it
yeah,
it it's also like the good news bad news situation of like the actors are too big for each of these things for them to feel like side plots. Like I mean you got Idris freaking Elba in there and like he's also,
Mhm.
the probably 10th on the call sheet or whatever.
Right.
But he's just like his character's also fun enough that you're like, well, it's not like he's just in the background. Like we got to do
Right.
more with him.
All of these characters are fun,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
are like I think that they're perfectly casted. Like I would want to watch a movie about this group of people.
Yeah.
I just don't want to
That's what I'm
watch this.
saying. Like
Yeah.
I think I disagree with you saying that it's like 3 separate scripts. I think it's 2 separate scripts, and
Mhm.
it's literally just the rock and rolla shit is its own kind of movie about like a junkie
Right.
musician who steals his dad's painting and it has bigger problems, right?
Right.
And then all the other stuff, the stuff with Gerard Butler and Mark Strong and all that, and the Russian oligarch, and that like 3 levels of criminality, that's all
Mhm.
very fun. I think that
Mhm.
Right.
like, and I agree. Like, I would watch a movie of these characters doing stuff, is, but like we have to keep. And the problem is like Ludacris is the best part of the film, and so like excising him from it entirely would be a net loss.
Right.
But like he has no connection to any of these other characters, and I'm
No,
like,
Yeah.
even at
They
the
had
end when they like show up all together, like they still
yeah,
send him away on his own thing, and then they don't.
Yeah.
There's not. We
yeah,
don't ever see him again after that.
Yeah, they
yeah,
even when they intersect, it's not sad. And like it's at the very end and it's not satisfying. And
Yeah.
yeah,
like
yeah,
this movie would be so much better if if it was just like if it was Toby Kebbell steals the painting and Tom Wilkinson and Mark Strong hire Gerard Butler and the gang to get it.
to get it.
And it was just a series of slapstick like fuck ups. That would be
Yeah.
so much funnier. And then finally the Russian like also is like, I want my painting back and bring the clearly war criminal Chechnyans.
Yeah,
Like and
yeah,
you could still have the chase scene and everything. Like
Yeah.
so Guy Ritchie does this professionally. So how come 3 dudes on a podcast can have a better plot structure than him?
I wanna see
Well,
like
you've
the
convinced
initial
me,
draft
Charlie.
of
We got to
this.
petition. We got to petition Guy Ritchie for his next movie to run it past us, and we'll fix it for him, and then he'll go and make a cool $1 billion.
He has been talking about RocknRolla 2 for 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did say that the last
Yeah.
thing, like the rock and
So
rolla will return or whatever.
yeah,
It
the
says that at the
real
very end of
rock
the
and
movie.
rolla. Yeah.
Yeah. So just hire us, dude. He's been like, I haven't done it because they keep giving me like these big lucrative like studio films like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, yeah,
And I get
And
that, bud, but
Aladdin.
just hire us. We'll write it.
yeah. I
uh,
Yeah.
mean,
but
I don't know.
Yeah.
stuff I
So to
go
that
ahead,
point
Jared.
though,
Yeah.
there's a theory that the gentleman is actually a part of his script for Rock and Rolla 2.
Mhm.
That he like adapted part of that. And I kind of see that of like the
Yeah,
underworld like doing
Mhm.
something kind of in that realm. But I don't know. I mean, I do not really want to see a sequel of this movie. I don't really care that much.
That's
I mean, and now
exactly
it'd
how
be
I
like,
feel.
I feel like it would be impossible to get the same group of people back because, like,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, all of these guys have gone on to do like a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
Do you
$18
know?
million would be like just Idris Elba's like
Right.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, that shit ain't happening without
Yeah.
like a bunch of recasts or
Right.
just like cutting out characters. Like maybe
Yeah.
you just bring back Gerard Butler.
Yeah, and I'm
But
pretty sure
Gerard Butler's
Ludacris
character isn't very interesting.
No, is not.
is kind of
Yeah.
boring. Yeah, and Ludacris, I'm pretty sure only does Fast and Furious movies now. So
Good
Yeah.
for him. Get your money, King. But like his little monologue, like I know it's just the best part it's great. Guy Ritchie has like in this movie, he loves to have characters give what are supposed to be these really like snippy or monologues or whatever, and the only one that really lands is Ludacris.
yeah,
Can you remind me what he's talking about?
So it's they're in the club, and the rocker that is not uh Toby Kebbell comes in, and his terrible accent is like, "I need joy, ice, for
Oh yeah,
Shay."
yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
Ludacris has this wonderful thing about like, "You asked me for Johnny Walker Black
Yeah.
and Ladies of the Pole,"
Yeah, yeah.
which
Okay.
is a
Yeah.
great turn of phrase. And he talks about his magic hat and everything,
He
and then
also
like
he also in that scene, he says that he has fog machines. Why does the guy need dry ice if not for what ostensibly does what fog machines do? No? Am I crazy? Like what else are you gonna do with dry ice?
it's because fog machines like rhymes with love machines or whatever, which I don't know what a love. No, he says love marines, which I don't know what that means. That's got to be British slang for condoms or something.
I
Um,
guess. Yeah, Kevin, I think I don't know. Maybe he just had punch, and he wanted to put the dry ice in the punch.
yeah, who
It's the
knows?
only thing I can think of.
But it's just
Um,
it's wonderful.
yeah. So going back to some Guy Ritchie-isms, if you will, that
Mhm.
I think were interesting in this movie, if not well executed. The dance sequence with Gerard Butler and Tandy Newton, I thought
Yeah,
was
that did
interesting.
that felt very like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. And then also felt like, again, not kind of like it felt kind of half-assed, I guess. Of like, I feel like they should have done more with this or like done this like more than just the one time. Of like, I feel like, so, okay, to go completely on a tangent, Tenant as a movie, the plot is terrible, but the mechanics are
Mhm.
really cool. And it
Right.
feels like he worked back from the mechanic of like going back in time. This one, it feels like he thought of this scene and he's like, this is a cool scene. I want to do
Mhm.
this in a movie. And then he like didn't build the rest of
Right.
the movie around that. Like he kind of forgot about that. As opposed to like
Mhm.
some of his other movies, it just feels a lot more polished. Like I feel like
Mhm.
um in uh in the cutting of the Man from Uncle with like the multiple boxes of stuff as things are happening, like that felt like really polished and really well done.
Mhm.
Same with like the Sherlock Holmes, like the Sherlock narrating what he's gonna do
Right.
as time slows down, like those felt so much more polished. And this kind
Right.
of felt like he had an idea, but he just didn't like stretch it out enough to make it into like an actually good movie for that specific
Yeah.
thing.
I would agree. I think that in particular, like a multi-cut, like multiple shots, I think that that could have served the type of movie this is trying to be really well.
Yeah.
Because the a big problem with this movie is that it is like it's just a series. It feels like it's supposed to be a series of vignettes, but they're just a series of scenes of like character actor talking to character actor, and then like it's, oh well, if you want to find Johnny, you got to go talk to his managers, and his managers like, well, if you want to find Johnny, you got to go talk to Cookie. And it's just like they have to constantly go talk to the next person without doing anything.
Yeah.
And like it's spiced, it's supposed to be spiced up a little bit by like, then Thandie Newton will call them every 30 minutes into the movie and be like, go steal some more money.
Yeah. Her whole character just felt like so unnecessary,
Mhm.
unfortunately. Like she really did not do anything except for
Right.
just throw a wrench in for what seems like spite reasons.
Well, I get that she wants to like they set her up as like being bored is why she's
Hmm.
doing it. And I do think that she portrays like bored, posh, British nouveau riche very well.
Yeah.
But the problem, like, but that's all that she is. She doesn't get any scene that is not, I want to steal this money.
Yeah.
So we don't, and like we don't ever get to know. We get to know like Gerard Butler's gang all get like a little introduction, and they all get kind of like flavored by like the informant plot line that comes up like 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually completely forgot about that until just now.
Yeah,
That's like that's
Which
that's
you
what
get,
I'm
like,
saying. We're like
yeah.
like it because that plot line is like kind of fun and interesting, I think.
Right.
And it ties us back to Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy again. Another connection. There's a mole.
The universe is one, and we're all connected.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's mole month. We're doing a mole
month,
hunt,
man. Yeah, like, and that comes up like it's like a one-off line at one point. I think when they're like first introduced, that they suspect that they're like Tom Hardy's like, yeah, someone ratted me out or whatever, or someone says
the
something
Mark
like
Strong
that.
narration.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
it's like,
oh, so they don't even say it. Like,
yeah, it's
Oh.
none of them acknowledge.
It's 2 lines in the Mark Strong narration that introduces us to Gerard Butler and his gang, and it's for years there's been like a leak, and it's sent
Okay.
everybody down at one point. So it's like it's also
Yeah.
using metaphors, so it doesn't even like outright tell you there's an informant.
Right. Okay.
It's just
Yeah, but then they like forget about that, and it doesn't come up until Tom Hardy is like supposed to go to jail and then doesn't.
right. And
Right?
like they don't, and like that the whole Tom Hardy thing is like through the whole movie they keep talking about how he's about to go away and do like a Fiverr. And there's not even like just one scene, even like if it was him and Gerard Butler in the car, like on the way to his like party, even if he had just turned to Gerard Butler and been like, that rat is getting me too, like instead of a really homophobic rant from Gerard Butler, if they'd had like a character moment where they were both like complaining about this informant that's taken decades from this group, like cumulatively.
So okay, 2 questions about that. It's never explained what he's going to jail for, is it?
No.
Well, you're just supposed to be like, this is a group of career criminals
that
like at any point in time have something they could be sent away to jail for.
Okay, because it just felt like when they talked about that he's going to go away for a while, I was like, wait, how did this come up? Like, when did this start? I was just so confused at that point.
It's meant to be like you have Tom Wilkinson's character, and he like gets a little Guy Ritchie monologue where he explains this. Like he views all the criminals under him as these like crayfish that'll destroy each other if he's not there to like keep them in line.
Oh, yeah.
And he does that by like throwing, like every time one of them gets a little like too big for themselves, he throws something to the feds and they send them to jail for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And he has like that little montage where he even talks about doing it to Mark Strong's character, and he's like, Archie's getting too big for his britches, send him away for 5.
Yeah.
Which again, like that's really interesting, but it's a couple of throwaway lines, and then it's supposed to be the big reveal at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It was not like it wasn't like set up enough where they're not like, I don't even think until the lawyer guy comes in, I don't even think they really even like Gerard Butler and Idris Elba, who are like kind of the leaders of this crew, don't even really seem to care that there is potentially an informant. And if you're what you're saying about Mark Strong delivering that via the like voiceover is the only time that we really get it, like they might not even know like that.
Right. And that's also unclear if they know or not.
Yeah.
Because it's like Tony Kebbell like is the one that explains it to them all, and it's like, why does he know all of this?
Yeah.
First of all, like
Toby Kebbell.
Yeah, that's
Kebbell,
right. Yeah, that's right. At the end of the film, he's the one who explains it, and how would he know? Like,
right? It's like, what? I get that he's
been like,
because he is the
junkie.
RocknRolla.
He is the RocknRolla. That's true.
And
that's true.
he's Lenny's like son-in-law. Like I get that. I get that he's connected to this criminal or stepson. Yeah, I get he's connected to this criminal enterprise, but he's not actively involved in it as far as we know. He's a rock star junkie. That's all we know about him.
Yeah.
And just
but he delivers the Scooby-Doo moment, which is
there's literally a Scooby-Doo moment where he pulls the hoods off. It's like, oh, 1, 2. He just clocks everybody. It's like, how do you know who Gerard Butler and Idris Elba are?
Yeah. I mean, I
guess
like he's been hanging out with Mark Strong like forever, as a child even and stuff. And
I thought it was the other way. I thought it was because he and the junkies have been like selling stuff to the gang.
To 1, 2 and Mumbles.
He doesn't know the junkies that are selling the stolen shit.
Yeah, that's true.
They show up at they show up at the junkie pad, and he's like, "Who are these people?
Who are these junkies?"
It's like,
this is my junkie pad. Get out of here, other junkies.
It keeps unraveling.
Yeah,
it's like what I said. It's just very, very messy in a way that's like not that much fun.
Yeah. And there are fun parts of this movie.
Yeah.
Like the chase scene, which I remember as being the climactic chase scene. I did not know that there was another 45 fucking minutes of this movie after that chase scene.
Yeah. So it's when they steal the money for the second time and they brought in like the Russian like muscle to protect it.
They're specifically Chechnyan, and they are definitely war criminals. And they're fun. That's a fun part of the movie.
Yeah. And they are a fun part of the movie,
Like that one, like the skinny one is just fucking terrifying. That guy is scary to look at.
Yeah. And then so once they get away from them that time with the money, but then they find Gerard Butler later and like tie him up, and are they trying to like
they're gonna rape and torture him?
Rape him? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just confused by that. And then also confused by why Mark Strong like rescues him from that too.
It's because, and this is like convoluted. So what it is the Russians are following Thandie Newton.
Mm-hmm.
I remember what it is now. It's not explained very well. So the Russians are following Thandie Newton.
Because the number 2 Russian guy thinks that she's the one getting the money stolen, which
because she's the only one who knows about it.
Right.
Other than Tom Wilkinson. But he doesn't know any of the actual details, so it has to be her.
Right. So they're following her, and then Tom Wilkinson sends Mark Strong to round everybody up to take them to the crawfish torture device.
Yeah. Which honestly, that did not seem that scary.
And then they pull the guy up, and the creepers are just kind of like clinging to his shirt.
And there's like,
I was like, I feel like the drowning part of it has got to have been the worst part of that.
In the River Thames, which is notoriously disgusting.
Yeah.
Also, that reminds me, there's a bunch of funny sight gags in this movie. So like they're about to torture the 2 dudes, and it like cuts over to the guy's hand, and he holds up the crawfish. He goes like, no. And that's kind of funny. There's a bit where the junkies come into the bar to like sell stuff, and like Gerard Butler does this great look over a newspaper with like cigarette smoke coming up. Or like he hands Thandie Newton the Gucci bag filled with cash, and little 105-pound Thandie Newton like visibly like can't hold it.
Yeah,
and like
I did enjoy that one.
Those are like funny little sight gags.
Wait, wasn't it? And it was an LV bag.
Was it Louis Vuitton?
It was.
You would know. All Hollywood kept.
I guess I thought it was a Chanel. I thought I saw a couple of C's on there.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It was a designer luggage bag.
Yeah.
That Kevin has correctly identified because Kevin is bougie that way.
Yep.
Guy.
Very on brand.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
Speaking of the crawfish, so there's the crawfish greed monologue. There's the junkie cigarette monologue, and I think there's the pipe monologue, like your soul gets sucked out through the pipe. And that made me want to ask you guys, Is this movie trying to say anything? Does this movie have a point?
I
Uh,
mean, I think no. I think
yeah,
like I think the problem with saying does this movie have a point? And I don't know what specifically you're getting at here, Charlie. This
I'm
this
just
is a
asking. It seems like it's
this
trying to
movie
say something.
we are I said in our I guess I'll bring it up again. Our last movie I said was very homoerotic. And this movie is similarly like deals with homosexuality in a way it's a very 2008 coded way where
Mhm.
like
yeah, of that it's both like
it's both
Yeah.
accepting and also very like
yeah.
homophobic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's cool if you're gay, just not at me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm scared of you being gay, but you're fine to be gay, like on your own
Right.
Yeah,
terms.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
not good. Like we should just be accepting. But
Yeah.
yeah, and that felt just like again out of left field of like, why is
It
this
did
in this
seem
movie?
like well, it's connected because the reason why they're able to find out that Tom Wilkinson is the informant is because
Oh,
the
yeah.
the gay lawyer
Mhm.
wants to sleep with Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a
And
fine plot element. It's
Yeah.
fine.
yes.
It's fine for that to be like all of that. The Tom Hardy as a gay man stuff, honestly, is like fine. It like serves the plot fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
like it's a funny gag that like Idris Elba's like, so did you? And Gerard Butler's like, we just danced, and like it does that one like
Yeah,
shot.
yeah.
But the weirdly aggressive freak out that Gerard Butler has
yeah.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like ruins the whole thing.
Yeah, he like
Yeah.
drops
I
the
think
F slur and it's like
Yeah,
just like not fun, And
yeah.
again, this is like 13 years later or whatever, 15 years, I don't something. However many
2008,
years. Okay.
2009, 2010,
Many years later,
Mhm.
17 or something, who knows. Um
16,
16.
17,
Mhm.
Um so,
early 2025.
applying, 2025 morality and
Yeah.
to this is not maybe not super fair. But again, it's not like this
But
movie was made like 50 years ago.
Right.
yeah. So I for that scene, I'll tell you when we got to that part and he starts having that rant, I said to myself, "Oh no, this is maybe going to age really
Yeah,
poorly."
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah. I agree.
luckily, like by the end of the movie, I think it does an okay job of redeeming itself. And it's
Mhm.
not as bad as like some other like I feel like especially like comedies at around this time, they really
Oh,
went
yeah.
hard at the like gay panic, like
Right.
homophobic, like route of stuff. And I guess I'm sort of thankful that this one didn't do that, but it still did not feel good. Like it didn't
No.
feel like
Right.
very accepting or anything. Um
Right.
and
And
then like
yeah.
even
Sorry, go
some of
ahead.
the jokes like later like kind of felt like oh
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
feels like in poor taste and like kind of trying to make fun of him in a way and
Right.
like it just didn't really sit super well with me.
I agree. So what I remembered the gag that like, oh, he just want like he they just danced. And I remember like that's all that I remembered.
Yeah.
And I think that that's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh but so when it got to that and it got to the freak out, I also was like very taken aback. I did not remember that at all. And it
Yeah.
like honestly came across as kind of like hateful to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
absolutely.
it felt like the
Yeah.
screenplay was going out of its way to have this really aggressive like freak out.
Yeah.
It,
And I think like Charlie, to your point, I think that gag could have been very funny if they were
mhm.
just like generally more accepting and like and maybe like
Agreed.
even talked through it of like, yeah,
Right.
Tom Hardy, his character is gay and he is in love with like his best friend and
Mhm.
Gerard Butler's just like, you know what, that's just not for me. But like, is there something that I could do to like
Right.
help you in your time of like before you're gonna go to jail or whatever, and then
Right.
like having them just dance and him be like ashamed of that or whatever would be kind of funny. But
Right.
I think yeah, the way that they play it before that is just what
Mhm.
really soured it for me.
Right. I agree 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like Idris Elba being like, more accepting of it, it doesn't really redeem
yeah,
the
Yeah.
the stuff before. It did like a little bit. Like I was
Right.
very concerned that I was like very concerned, and then
Mhm.
it kind of gets it does its best, I guess,
Mhm. It's
sort of.
it's very
Yeah.
like it does remind me of like during this time period where like dude bros would say something really homophobic, somebody would get
Yeah.
upset and they'd be like, "Oh man, that's fine if you're gay, man. I'm just like busting your balls or whatever. It's just a joke, man." Or like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry, I didn't think it would make you upset."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very coded like that.
I like to think of that as the we got to say no homo at the end of it
Mm,
phase
yeah,
of the 2000s, just in
absolutely.
case for whatever stupid fucking reason that was.
Absolutely. But yeah, I just am really like I don't know. I'm not upset that this movie like did not hold up upon rewatching. I
Yeah.
like I said at the beginning, I kind of feel bad for this being the movie that I
This
made
is
you
your
guys
inaugural
watch.
pick to the. This is your inaugural podcast pick,
This
Charlie.
has set the
Like
tone
this is
for what we can expect from you.
But I think it's important that we cover like a wide range of movies.
No,
Like
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
not just prestige movies and not just movies that we like or we go back and revisit something. I think we need to be honest if it ages well or not or if we still like it. And like I don't really ever want to watch this movie again.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think I'll watch it again. I think it's in that weird pocket of like there are the movies that are like bad that are fun to rewatch. Like the
mhm.
prime example that I kind of want to watch at some point in this podcast is Sonic the Hedgehog, which I think is a terrible movie, but it's just a lot of fun to watch.
I'd agree.
Um
Yeah,
I
that
have
movie's
not
really
seen
earnest.
the
I like
Sonic.
it.
I have
yeah,
not seen that movie.
but yeah, this one just felt like it's in that pocket of like bad and then also doesn't have enough like redeeming
Right.
something else to it to want to come back to it.
Hmm.
I think
Um
also it's very
yeah.
frustrating because, as we mentioned in the top of the episode, like I think the ideas that we threw around and how to improve the film would have made the movie a lot better.
Right.
And it's like very frustrating to be like, oh yeah, this like has a decent movie hidden in this pile of trash.
Hmm.
Um, not
Yeah,
not that the movie is. I wouldn't say
there's
it's trash, but
some glimmers in the dog shit.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And
And
you're like,
like
is that tinfoil or is that gold? Who knows?
right. And like the bits that I do like that I remembered and like made me want to watch this movie again. Also, like even though they're the good bits, they're not good enough to ever like they're better like conceptually.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think,
agree.
and I think I just keep coming back to like I see some of these same motifs in his other movies, and again, he's just done them so much better, and like they feel
Mhm.
so much more polished in those other movies.
Right.
Of like
And
this feels like a demo in a way
mhm.
of like what would be the full album
Right.
later.
And a little bit of like so Guy Ritchie like came out hot with Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, and Snatch, and then he wrote and directed Revolver and Swept Away, which I think Revolver is like a more I haven't seen either one, but like both were very poorly received.
Yeah.
And
I never
Swept
even heard of either of these before.
I think Revolver is like a more serious, like grittier crime thriller, maybe,
Hmm.
or like murder movie, maybe. And then Swept Away is a romantic comedy,
Oh,
and both.
starring Madonna. He's done a lot of work with Madonna.
Ok, I didn't know that about him, but interesting. But both of those movies apparently are like terrible, and
Hmm.
so this was like his like comeback, return to form movie, and so I could see how maybe he was just trying to cram all the Guy Ritchieisms
Yeah,
like into it.
back into
Yeah,
this one. Yeah.
right.
It's interesting because that's also kind of similar to The Gentleman too, is that The Gentleman was kind of hailed as his like return to form of like he's
Mhm.
going back to the gangster movie
Right.
setting again of like and that's what his bread and butter had been after directing a lot of big stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, he's directed a lot of stuff with Madonna in it. And then also Jatham Statham is one of his main collaborators too. And he's in
Honestly, surprised
Revolver.
Jason Statham is not in this.
Yeah, feels like a very Jason Statham-y. But it's
This
also
is like
weird, like I feel like I don't know why that sometimes he'll do like Jason Statham just by himself, and
Mhm.
not with the ensemble of other people, which is like, I don't know how accurate that is, but that's just kind of what it looks like, I guess. Because like the more recent Jason Statham is The Wrath of Man, which I've not seen. But that one's just like a Jason Statham is like in a suit beating up people. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I've seen that movie before.
Yeah, I've not seen that one.
Um, so yeah, I will say, like, my friends and I quoted this movie fairly incessantly.
Okay.
Um,
Which
just
What
quotes would you
from it?
use?
Yeah.
oh God, there's like a lot of like care for a run around, only if you're wicked. So there
Okay.
was that. We called each other bloody Cossacks a lot. We called each other bloody Cossacks.
Kevin's Kevin's face from that is just so good.
Uh I feel like there were I didn't those were the two that I wrote down, but there were a couple of more that like just lines that we would because like you would be in high school and you would just quote movie
Yeah.
lines at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like with like completely out of context. But I do remember calling each other bloody Cossack a lot.
Okay.
Also, sorry, I keep finding other things to talk about. This movie hates immigrants.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Much like the
It's
British.
yeah, it's you know, the first warning signs of the incoming Brexit 8 years later.
Yeah.
It is fun to listen to Tom Wilkinson just call people like bloody immigrants.
Yeah.
Like and like he is the only character that's like xenophobic. And I do think I do like that he thinks that he's such like a power player, but then like immediately after his first meeting with the Russian's like it makes the peasant feel like a prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good line and like a really good like element. And I'm sorry. I'm gonna end this on a positive note. I love how weird the Russian is. He's
Yeah.
so weird.
He is
Yeah.
very weird. And he's his character was a lot of fun, and I wish we had gotten a little bit
Right.
more of him.
Actually, I
Yeah.
think we had the perfect amount of the Russian. Any more and
Yeah.
he might have been like ruined.
Hmm.
Maybe a little bit more of the Russians, like we see
Yeah,
his
sure,
like right
sure.
hand man like doing stuff. But
Yeah.
like that first scene where he's like, have a drink with me, Lenny. And then he's like, it's whiskey. I
Yeah.
don't drink. It's like
Yeah.
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good weird one. It's also, do you guys know who Roman Abramovich is?
Nope.
Nope.
So he was the owner of the Chelsea Football Club in England. And so this
Mm,
guy, I thought it when I was watching the movie because they're like in that soccer stadium a lot. And then
right.
just looking it up, like the trivia and stuff, it does look like he was based upon, like this
Mm.
character was based upon Roman Abramovich, which is
Okay.
just interesting for all the soccer fans out there, which I know
Right.
that there are a lot of them.
Yeah. Wait, so was the Russians' plan, he wanted to build a soccer stadium? Is that what it was?
He was trying to build some kind of like arena.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I
And
think
then
arena and
yeah.
like whole complex thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, the look going back and watching it, I picked up on it. So like I think that he's like an established property developer because
Yeah.
that scene where he's like in the hard hat talking to investors, like that complex or whatever he's building is already like in progress. And
Yep.
he's trying to get the permits to build a new stadium.
And he mentions that it took a long time for the current one to go through, and he wants
Right.
this one to go faster because of the whole hookup that Tom Wilkinson has.
Right.
Right, right.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that and also like I when I saw this I didn't realize how recent it was. Like in my head this was like a 2004 2005 movie, but 2008. So clearly anytime you're talking about like property development you're talking about the recession. And like this has got to be set right at the peak of the bubble because they're talking at the very opening is Gerard Butler and Idris Elba trying to buy this like warehouse building, which I
Yeah.
think is the same building that they get all fed to crawfish in.
It
The
looked like the
crayfish.
same building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
don't think it
Oh.
was supposed to be the same building, but it looks like the same building because
they
we
shot all the exteriors and then they shot
yeah.
the interior. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but and they're talking about how like the rising interest rates and blah blah blah. And it's really funny how they're like again post like pre-Brexit. London is becoming the cultural and financial center of the world.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't it before that? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe New York. Um,
I don't think it's been London since the 1800s, boys.
yeah, probably
I
fair.
don't know. For financial stuff, I think it's still.
But yeah, so that's RocknRolla. Some like that AWOL Nation song. Sometimes you have to kill your heroes. Uh,
You just can never go home again.
Have you never heard that AWOL Nation song?
I haven't
No.
heard that AWOL Nation. I mean, I've heard that phrase "kill your heroes" before.
Yeah, there's an AWOL Nation song called "Kill Your Heroes." It's on the same album as "Sail," and it's the song that comes on after "Sail."
Okay, I guess I just don't remember that. I listened to that album a lot when I was in college, but
same. Specifically that one track.
Yeah.
But yeah, wouldn't watch it again. We can go ahead and get to ratings if we legacy. Like we've all talked about how Guy Ritchie, like he went on to do Sherlock Holmes, very well received. A couple of movies. He's still working, still putting out stuff that's well received, and we all agree is kind of like refined himself.
Sort of well.
I mean, yeah, his filmography is very like hit or miss. I feel like
right.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone liked the live action Aladdin movie. Maybe they
I didn't
did.
even
I
know
didn't
that
watch
it existed.
It's
until I mentioned
bad.
it.
I would love live action
it.
Aladdin with like Mockney accents though. Oh, street rat.
It's very his filmography is interesting. Looking at it, the ones that he directed.
Yeah,
it's like
I do think I think one of the nice things about him though is you kind of know what you're getting, like going into one of those movies. Like he has just an established style that he doesn't like deviate too much from, and you know it's going to be like pretty exciting, like decent amount of action, like kind of fun, like silliness. So I like that part of it, but yeah, I wouldn't say anything of his is like, oh my god, that's amazing. Right off of the bat.
I'll give him credit. Like this was like a fairly formative movie, like early on in sort of my like becoming like someone who likes films and likes to talk about films. Definitely like had I not watched this movie, like it was very like sort of like percolating time in like my life of like I had access to BitTorrent and I was just going through lists of like fun movies. And so like that's how I watched this one. And without this and without being part of that pipeline, like I wouldn't be to the point where I could watch something like I recently watched like The Wailing, or like this movie directly led to me watching The Departed, which directly led to me watching Infernal Affairs, which is an insanely good movie. So I got to give it credit for like at least putting me down the path.
Yeah, it stoked the fire of the film buff in you.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can.
All right. Well, getting on to ratings, I can start. I'm gonna give this one 2.5 stars out of 5. It just like, didn't really catch my interest. Like, it just felt very sloppy. All the things we've talked about, and then I just like. I am somebody who likes to watch movies over again, and I just have like zero inclination to watch this movie. Like I would rather watch more Guy Ritchie. But I just like, I don't know, kind of just middle of the road all around.
Right.
Yeah, I'll hit this with 2 stars. Very rough around the edges, very sloppy. Needed another pass or two with the red pen. Just cut out the RocknRolla stuff entirely, and I think you have a 3-star movie just right there.
Right.
Have someone else do the Scooby-Doo moment, and then you're good.
Sorry to piggyback on that for a second, Kevin. If we cut out the RocknRolla, what would you call this movie instead?
Oh boy, I don't know. Like you could come up with. I'm not good at naming things. Charlie named this podcast. Jared named our previous one.
You just call it like the Wild Bunch.
Yeah, there you go.
I would go for the Wild Bunch. I think that's
Wild Bunch is fine.
Title.
Yeah.
Like if you really wanted to hone in on like the crayfish symbolism, you could call it crayfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna give this one a 1.5 stars.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, so to me, like 2 stars means that I would rewatch this movie.
I think three
And
stars is my threshold for that.
mm,
1 star is like, anything in like the 1 star is like I might be turning it off halfway through and like not completing the film. And so like, if
mhm,
you're into that like, 1 to 2 star range, I'll finish
right.
the film, but I'm not going to be psyched about it.
Yeah.
It
That's
was it
fair.
was hard to not look at my phone at times.
I definitely looked at like I mentioned last episode, the only time I looked at my phone during Tinker Tailor was during the Tom Hardy flashback, and I was like texting during this because like I didn't feel like I had to pay attention to
You'd
see
already
what was
seen it
happening.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, for me,
But
I'm
yeah,
I'm trying I'm trying to hold myself to no phone during
right.
the film. Um, and it was hard not to break that rule because my brother was texting me, and I was like,
Mm. Yeah,
maybe I
I
want to
wouldn't have
answer this.
I wouldn't have held it against either of you if you had like something else pulled up on your monitor or whatever. But like to me, like 2 stars is the minimum threshold for like if this was on Spike TV, I would watch it.
Mm.
Or like if I got like a craving, I would go back and watch it. But
Yeah.
like
Does
I
Spike TV still exist?
probably somehow some sort of
Okay.
streaming form. But yeah, like I just now that I've gone back and watched it, 1.5 has enjoyable moments that save it from like being a 1, but I don't ever want to revisit this movie.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
If I rewatch this movie, it's going to be because someone else really wants to watch it, and I want to be
Yeah.
nice to them.
I I would be extremely surprised if anybody does, because this feels like just one that has like ultimately just like feels like it slipped through the cracks and it's just like
Yeah,
kind of disappeared. Like
I think
even
yeah.
being, I would say I'm sort of a Guy Ritchie fan. I honestly did not scroll this far back in his
Mhm.
repertoire to like go watch this one.
Right. Yeah, I think that this is firmly like a forgotten movie that will I think this is a movie that will be found by like kids in high school that want to watch good movie like that are trying to become film buffs and they'll watch this and then they'll be on the same sort of evolution that I was.
Yeah.
I think that's the only type of person that's watching this.
And then eventually watch actually good movies and be like, well,
Right.
And then come
yikes.
back and revisit and be like, oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Right. Or
What was I
like
thinking?
you know how like movies will go up like on the free selection of like Tubi or Amazon Prime or whatever, and then
Yeah.
like they'll get clipped and show up on like social media. I don't even think that people would clip this movie
Yeah.
because
There's
like
just
there's that
there's like
yeah
nothing that good. Like it's all fine.
Yeah.
right because like there's a it happened with the gentleman like that clip of Matthew McConaughey like giving that
Mhm.
speech about his wife like made the rounds on social media as like a yeah this is what a real husband is like.
Yeah.
And like there's nothing even in here for that. Like people wouldn't even clip the to be a real RocknRolla thing.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
sounds
Because it's
stupid.
it's so stupid. I hate it. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's cemented for me. I've got to choose the gentleman sometime soon.
I'll hold off on watching it until it gets picked. So
Good.
yeah, that's our ratings. All that's left now is Kev. We've been
Yeah.
waiting on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, I did say that I would tell you guys what my next pick was. And then I didn't because to be honest, I was oscillating between a few schools of thought. I
Mhm.
was, Charlie picked, common actors. Um and
So just to reiterate for everybody, we do
yeah,
a 6 degrees of separation for our next movie. So you have
yeah.
6 chances to make some bounces to what you want to do next, or even just one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really wanted to pick this Chinese animated film called Naja. Like Naja 2
Mm.
just recently released a few months ago, and it's made $2 billion.
I almost went
And
to go see it.
1.8 of that is China. Like they
Okay.
fucking love that movie.
All right.
And the first one came out 5 or 6, 7 years ago. And it's decent. And I was trying my best to connect RocknRolla to Naja, and I was like, okay, Like, is there anyone like? But the problem is because it's an animated film, and I should have looked to see like if it ever got like not dubbed
Mm.
because I honestly I should have just checked if it was dubbed because I'm sure there would be a way to find an English voice actor who has worked with Matt Damon who was in that Great Wall movie and that could have tied back to RocknRolla somehow.
What,
Um,
how do you spell this, Kevin?
Nezha.
Zha. Okay, hold on. I got you. I
um,
got you.
because
Yeah, we can find a connection here.
Okay.
hold on, is this compelling radio?
It better be. Okay.
This is a podcast. Excuse you. We're better than radio.
Okay.
Yeah, you get to see our lovely faces. Okay. I have so many ways that I could do this, and just like through Wikipedia, that's why it's taking so long. So if I do this, and then I
Okay, here we go.
um, yeah, boom. So on Wikipedia,
Okay.
you go to how do you pronounce it, Kevin? I don't want to be
Noja.
wrong. Noja?
Noja. Yeah.
Okay,
That's fine. You're good.
I'm gonna say Neza at one point. So comments, leave your in the comment below. All right, so you go Li Xiaofeng. Is that how you pronounce it?
Sure.
Directorial debut, David Fincher, and then you can just go from there. Like you'll find something from David Fincher. You can get to Guy Ritchie and RocknRolla super easy.
Wait. Hold on. Wait, who did you go to first?
So you start at Noja, like the Wikipedia article.
Okay, you're in the Wikipedia.
Yeah, and then is a 2014 Chinese period drama film directed by Li Xiaofeng in his directorial debut.
Oh no. I was doing the animated one, the 2019 one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, not even Noja 2?
Not Naja 2, which is the sequel. I mean, I could pick
this is
that.
all getting cut. This is terrible.
The problem is,
Charlie,
all
joke's
right.
on you. I cut jack shit out of
The problem
this.
is I don't want to pick Naja 2 because you guys haven't seen the first one. And you'll be like the entire discussion will be like, how does this why are these characters doing this? Like
Yeah.
how are they related?
We could probably do 1 and 2. I would be fine to commit to watching
that's
both.
too much. That's so much talking, bro.
We've done that before.
We have done that before. No, we're not gonna do that. I'll you know what? I'll back pocket that. My pick is Paddington. And
okay.
And Paddington. The relation is, let's see, hold on. RocknRolla, directed by Guy Ritchie, distributed by Studio Canal. Paddington, distributed by Studio Canal.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
That is the best and laziest way to connect these two. You didn't even want to go through like Hugh Grant,
a bunch of actors.
Kidman. Yikes!
Too hard.
But 100%. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, is this a British movie? Are there British accents in this?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's another British
God
movie.
Damn it. God damn it.
That's the problem with I wanted to bring us away from British people and the Isle of Britannia. But I did not because reasons. Also because I want to see Paddington in Peru. And might as well go through these like just kind of on my own first.
Yeah. Paddington I have seen, and I am a big fan. Paddington 2 might be one of the greatest movies of all time.
I've heard that. I keep hearing it. I've never seen a Paddington.
Yes, this is a good one.
I trust you, Kevin.
Interesting pick, Kevin. I never would have put you down for a Paddington fan.
A Paddington.
So I'm excited.
I gotta switch it up.
No, I can see it.
Gotta change it. I also wanted to not just like pick a Guy Ritchie film or like pick a another Mark Strong movie or Tom Hardy film.
Or like you could have been super lazy and just been like Gerard Butler 300.
Yeah.
And we all would have been miserable.
Yep. I did not like that movie, but
miserable.
Anyways. Close us out, Charlie.
Guys, this has been the Completely Original Movie Podcast. This has been us shitting on RocknRolla for an hour and 13 minutes.
Yay!
Hey, some of that was me trying to connect the movie to it. So
I hope you enjoyed listening to us like critique the shit out of this movie from my childhood. Firm skippable movie. And come back next week where we will discuss Kevin's pick, Paddington, and get ready to hear our thoughts on that. You can find us on Instagram. Jared, what's that Instagram tag?
It should be the Completely Original Movie Pod.
We will also be on all the socials. Well, all the socials, but the worst one. So Blue Sky. We'll have this up on. Yeah, we'll have this up on YouTube. Feel free to check us out, drop comments, follow us, and let us know if you have any suggestions or thoughts.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will see you next week.
Yeah.